Greetings, fellow internet perusers. We have a very special guest with us today down here, the infamous Andrew Smersek. I pronounced that correctly.
Yes,
Combat art training. Or as anytime I mail him something, the package says Andrew Smurfadurpolis. I figured if I'm going to fuck up the spelling, it should look on purpose.
Do you actually do that? Because I gotta be honest, I just open things that come to my mail. I probably shouldn't do that, knowing that the Goblin Empire hates me, and
one of these days it's going to be anthrax.
Well, no, they used to send people like drugs, and if you opened it, then it was like, "Oh, we got you," you know.
Oh, well,
so, more reasons to be an anarchist, as our conversations usually go.
All right, let's see. I think it looks like everything's working on this end, on the dashboard. So I will mention tonight's live stream sponsored by Amber Supply Warehouse. They are currently right about there. Oh, and down there, you can use the coupon code TREMIS10 for $10 off any order over $100. Oh shit! I was getting shit ready and I wasn't prepared. That's why we're late and all that stuff. But I was going to mention that the over there on Ammo Supply Warehouse, you can get a Tremis signature sling because they're back in stock. But then I was going to point out that I have another sling here that I'm using. Even for a guy with a signature sling, I have the new Combat Art truck sling. And I put it on a rifle and then took it off a rifle so that I could bring it up and show it on the live stream. And it's sitting 2 floors below me on my table.
Is that the flat webbing one?
Yes.
Well, only cool people have that because I haven't even put them on my website.
Well, I was going to drum up. A, we'll drum up some excitement, and B, I do like showing things that people don't have.
Yes,
it's a hobby of mine.
I'm very excited to close out my words on my website and be like, yeah, bro, you have to come to class to buy it.
I got to admit, that's pretty stellar. Can we do this? Maybe. I'm trying to get the chat to be a little bigger because it's tiny over there. For the first few minutes, I couldn't get it not to cover Andrew. I could put it side by side and just covered him. Now, some people might say that's a good thing, but with a glorious beard like that, I think it needs front and center. In fact, I probably should have put him on the top. You know what? Can I do that now? Whoa, I can. All right. So we got that out of the way. All right. I have notes, but I got the big thing out of the way. Our sponsors, shout out. Adam Hall says hello. Although it's in super tiny text. I think the further I changed it to large, so maybe the next people that talk on the chat. Oh wait, can I do this? Oh, I can make the opacity higher so it stands out a little more. All right. What about the size? Oh, there we go. Power bottom move. Hey, got to be something. Might as well be a power bottom. All right, I think that's a little easier to read. All right, should have done that before, but you know what happened? 2 weekends ago, Zach Bush was here teaching active shooter, definitive response. And I think I had 7 dudes and a dog in my house randomly sleeping. So this room, like all the camera shit that's in front of me, was just pushed into the corner, and 2 air mattresses were on this floor. So I really wasn't ready tonight to do stuff. So my bad.
Oh, you're good.
That's why we were late. Well, one of the reasons we were late. Probably the main reason we were late. I wasn't ready. And I didn't even communicate well with Andrew about getting us all up and running. We talked about it last week, and we're like, all right, Wednesday, then yesterday I sent the link, and then I never followed up after sending the link.
You're good, bro, because I knew what time it was happening and everything. And then, well, as I told you, but I'll share with them, got home a little bit later than I wanted to. And then dogs became motherfuckers. our old dog Champ was chasing after the birds. I heard my wife yell. When she yells like that, it upsets my soul. Like I can hear the way she's yelling. It has a different tone to it, kind of like a baby crying to a mother, but yelling to me the same thing. So I went out to correct him, and then was training two dogs at once, trying to have corrections made. Champ didn't listen, so I ended up having to drag him over. And then the puppy got scared. I ended up having to chase her around for like 15 minutes. And now she is tied up and awaiting further training.
Like that's not what I want.
And then when I got on the computer, fucking signal wasn't working on my computer. So I had to juggle phones and laptops to make the link happen.
Been there, done that too.
Yep.
Enable up there. I think if I turn, I'm trying. Nope. Trying to get everything situated here so that. Which one of these is fucking chat? I just want to turn it off. Not the stream, the chat. It's covering up half my screen.
It's easier when you just ignore the chat.
I know. I'd like to be able to see like the screen though, and the chat is half of it. And I was like, I don't want it. Aha, there's the button. Now I'll drag this back to this other monitor. Uh-oh. Oh no. Nah, it's stupid as could be. Well, okay. Kyle's in here. Javier is in here. Tom Hollyby's in here. It's all kinds of my favorite people. So, as everyone knows, because I mentioned it like 20 minutes ago, it seems, before I stopped fucking with my screen. Zach Bush was here, did an awesome class. It was sold out. Active shooter stuff. It was live fire and lecture stuff. Really good. And then after the weekend after that, Andrew was here. And we did a class together, Force on Force Weaponology. And I thought it turned out pretty good. I got pretty good feedback from the people who gave me feedback. Students are kind of shitty at that most of the time, but I don't know if any of them, what they might have mentioned to you, but everybody that I talked to me about it was pretty stoked. What do you think?
Like honestly, it is my favorite style class to teach. I do enjoy live fire classes. But honestly, if the only thing I ever did was classes like that, I'd be totally happy. And I'm looking forward to doing them here on my property down there in the future. I'll be posting some of that. But yeah, it was cool because like I got to work with you, and honestly, we're so like different styles, but so aligned on the flow of the class that it went so well, And
I thought it went super smooth.
Yeah, and it was like we didn't push them too hard either, which I can be definitely guilty of. So I appreciated that too. And I'll be honest, it was really nice having you just take over on parts, and I could just relax, and I got to be a student while you taught. So I loved it.
I agree. It was great. When you were teaching your blocks, I just sat back and was like, oh, I'm just going to take this in like a student. And because it's kind of a gear intensive class, being that it's force on force, we can't really like tell the dudes like, hey, you brought the gun, it better fucking work, like we would in a live fire class. So it was great having the ability to say, hey, why don't you run them through that while I go fix this guy's gun? Just because, there was airsoft guns and unit guns, and like the unit guns are pretty reliable, but we had guys that they took them out of the box and like, hey, how do I make the thing do the stuff? And then they'd take the magazine apart in the incorrect way and need some help putting it back together. So it was great having like complete competence of, Andrew's just going to run all that, and I'm going to fix this dude's magazine so that he's got, a reload on the next run.
Yeah, and thank you for doing that, because that was my first experience with the unit guns.
Well, we did not with the pistol, which is pretty much what we mostly used last weekend, but with the rifle, I had a video conference with one of their like head tech guys, and we walked through like how the gun worked together, the different parts work together. And then earlier in the spring, Mike and Shinde and I all went to Unit Solutions, and they walked us through every step of construction of both the pistols and the rifles. And at every spot, like, this is how this piece gets assembled. So we would see how it, interface with each other. And then they were like, and this is the lube we use when we assemble that part. And this is the grease we use when we assemble this other part. So, we took notes and got us a pretty good idea of how everything worked, even though I didn't come home and tear everything apart. But when I started taking things apart, I was like, oh, yes, that's right. They said this. And while I got it open, I'll put a drop of oil in here because it's not often I get into this part. And so it worked out pretty good in that aspect. Like the guns ran pretty well, other than, like, I would say the magazine thing was a user issue. It happened a couple times with just not disassembling the magazine to reload the air and the BBs in it in the correct order.
Yeah, I would say anyone who is really serious about training, it would be worth it to buy a Unit Solutions gun as long as you press that trigger on it 3 times the dollar amount in live ammo. As long as you do that, like whatever you spend, do the math. What that equal for 3 times that in live ammo trigger presses, you will get your money's worth out of them. So far from what I've seen. Like, I want to invest in them for my classes after this weekend. Like, airsoft is great. It's low cost too, low entry. But if you are super serious about it, I would say it's worth it to get a unit gun. If you're going to be using it for like a gunfight club or force on force with your friends, or bring it to like one of our classes, totally worth it. It just, you have to put in the work with it to make it worth it.
Agreed. Oh, and that probably holds true to most things. If you just get it, look at it and go, well, I bought it, box checked, probably won't get the results you're hoping for.
Yeah, like, you could even just look around at the guns you have and be like, that one I don't use, sell it, replace with a Unit 9 pistol, a couple mags and some ammo and CO2. It'll be worth it. It's more user friendly than an airsoft in a maintenance aspect.
Yes. Durability, like you can drop it on a cement floor and you'll scratch the blue off, Cerakote off of it, and that'll be about it.
Yeah, it's like there's more things that can go wrong with airsoft and more things you have to adjust properly. Yeah, from what I've seen, the unit, and I think a separate video on the unit guns would be a good thing.
It's on my agenda of things to do, but I don't know if anyone has noticed, but I haven't made a standalone YouTube video in quite some time.
Yeah.
Although I have a great one in mind. Like, I'm fleshing it out, making some notes, and I'm not going to mention it yet, but it'll be a good one when I finally decide to make it.
Does it have to do with a recent Instagram post?
No, and as a matter of fact, it doesn't.
Okay, because that would make a good video too. I'm adopting that.
Probably would. I wouldn't be surprised if some comments tonight maybe lean that direction.
I was actually like, damn. I was like, I know I thought of doing that. Damn, he did it first. I gotta do it now.
What's funny is I put that post up September of last year, or I changed the FAQ, and nobody just fucking noticed or cared or whatever. And due to some, what's his name, Milikowski, who's over here visiting from the Middle East, I was like, oh, it's a fine time to remind everyone what my stance is on him and his country.
You can make a battlefield pickup class where it's allowed.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
No, you don't. I didn't mean anything by that. But yeah, so the class though, dude, I think you agree too. That's the best class to run, right?
Yep. I and I've said this a million times. I think you have too. If God came down and made us pick, you can either do live fire or force on force. Which would you do? And I don't know of a good trainer who would pick live fire over force on force. I mean, there might be one, but I don't know of one.
Yeah, well,
now, mind you shouldn't just have one form of training, but in the hierarchy, I think force on force is at the top because it's the only time you get to pressure test it against a resisting, non-consensual opponent.
Yeah, it's like Sean Strickland, I believe, he primarily trains just by sparring. Like he doesn't sit there on a heavy bag. I don't even think he really works out that much. I think he just spars constantly. And I'm like, like I was talking about my brother, like he's fucking great at that style class that we ran, where it's a skills-based force on force class, because he's just having fun with it and he's getting into it at 13,
Yep.
So it's like, if he keeps rolling with that for quite a while, oh yeah, we'll get him the live fire, we'll get him the medical, the low light, all that shit, the scenario stuff. But dude, and he's a smart fucking kid, so he could be one hell of a gunfighter when he gets older. I mean, he can run circles around adults already.
And what's awesome, in trying to get a young man interested, is that it's super fun, and the best practice at anything you do is ones you enjoy, because you'll do it more. We're not robots where we're just like, oh, what would be good today to practice? 7.5 hours of this, and nobody will follow through with it. But if you make it fun, all of a sudden, instead of 3 or 4 minutes of it, you'll do a lot of minutes of it. I mean, what's the best cardio workout? The one everyone wants to do, sex. Why? Because it's fun.
At least it should be.
Yes, I believe.
Yeah, and even when we did spend a lot of time on simple things sometimes, like when we were doing positional work, working cover, kneeling versus crouching versus this form of kneeling. Yep. We spent a lot of time on it, but you saw the student, we just have to give them some things to work with, some ideas, say, try it out. And then basically we hand it off to them, and then we just walk around and give them little extras, and they are doing the work, really.
Exactly. And it's just something as simple as kneeling. If you kneel once, hey, that's how you do it. And you're like, hey, have you thought of some other ways? And these are some pluses and minuses of some other things to think about. If they don't have that guidance, someone to offer coaching and corrections, they'll never get an opportunity to do it, or their mind will never say, hey, I should try this. And then the fact that we did it in force on force meant you'll see direct results right away of how well you can use cover. You cannot show someone the levels of different ways of using cover, how they work against incoming rounds without incoming rounds.
Yeah.
At that point, it's just all hypothetical. Now, some of them are pretty obvious, hey, you just step out into the open, people can shoot you there. Yes, I don't need someone to shoot at me to understand that. But some of the smaller nuances, right away, they can see hey, when I do this, I stop getting shot in the fucking leg.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the perfect venue to dig into that kind of thing.
Yeah, and this is more in the direction that I'm doing my classes too, where I'm I have live fire classes for skills with this gun, and then applying more. So it's more it's less how to shoot, more of application of tourniquets, just all the movement. While you're shooting, it's all movement. And then 911 calls and stuff like that in another class, pistol applications, and then proving grounds pistol, right? And it's and I think dividing them that makes it make more sense, because it's also, I've seen you see it in live fire classes where they for cover, for instance, the same thing we're talking about. When we go to do the cover drill, they may be good at it when it's going slow, but then when it's just all right, go do this drill. They stop being good at using the cover because they don't have to.
Yep.
And because the target isn't using it, So
Right.
it's also like when you're doing it with a person and seeing exactly how each thing works from both the defender and the attacker position in whichever scenario, it just contextualizes it so much better for the student.
I agree. And I really thought last weekend they gave a good package to them for everything that we discussed. I thought it was really like it came together really. I wouldn't say it was put together well. That sounds a little narcissistic to take credit for putting it together well, especially since we pretty much worked off each other the whole time. As Sonny calls it, it's like jazz.
Yeah,
we didn't like lay out all the sheet music. We're like, hey, key of E and go.
Yeah, but it was already well refined because we both run our own force on force classes. So, and funny story for everyone, when I first got to train with Gary when he came to Florida, I went up to him and I was excited to talk to another instructor about stuff. And I was like, hey bro, check this out. I got this idea for this class, and I was like, it'd be like, imagine like a fighting pistol type class, but every drill's against another dude. And he goes, mm-hmm. And I'll be like, and we're going to have a drill that's like this. He goes, mm-hmm. And he goes, and we're gonna have a drill like this. And, mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm thinking I might go UTM, maybe airsoft. I don't know. He goes, mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah, you should, I think you were like, yeah, you should just use airsoft, it'll be good. And then you're like, that class already exists. I was like, really? He goes, and not Adeptus, right? It's
right. Diagnostics,
pistol diagnostics. And I was like, oh fuck. And so that was really cool too, that it's like,
that my brain went somewhere, your brain went somewhere, and at some point we talked about it and we were at the same spot.
Yeah, it's like, and I love seeing that. It could be just like the way, like a different way to reload the gun, like I had thought of like, hey, maybe just rip it out every time. That way it always drops free. And then like I just noticed other guys doing that, right? And I'm like, that's cool, like I can't take credit for it because it's like they learned shit too, Yeah. I'm sure, but it's like a natural, like guys just come up with the same thing. Very interesting when that happens.
And I would wager that some of those things that they came up with was not even thought out. Like they just started doing the thing that they needed to do to make it work. I know years ago, so my first pistol forever ago was a HK USP in 40. So that was like 94. But I traded it on a 1911. And my 1911 experience at that point was from the Navy, because we still use 1911s in those days. And we didn't take them apart or anything. So it wasn't like I got a lot of time hands-on on the innards of a 1911. But I trade that USP in on one. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to see how it works. I start taking it apart. No YouTube existed. Like the internet was still pretty new. So I just manipulated the gun to get it in all the little pieces. And then I did that for a couple of years before I saw somebody else take a 1911 apart. And I was like, wow, you don't do it at all like I do it. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, I don't take the bushing off and the plug in the spring until the slide's off the frame. And they're like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I just push the slide back. I put my thumb in the trigger guard to hold it in the spot so that I can, slide the takedown lever out. And then I slide it off the front. And they're like, but the spring will go everywhere. If you have a full length guide rod, it won't. But even if you have the short guide rod, when I would pull it off, my fingers would just go under the spring and I would take the two pieces apart by themselves. And then I would pull the spring and the guide rod out the back and then take the plug out with my fingers or the bushing out with my fingers. I didn't need a wrench because it wasn't under tension. And they were like, why the fuck didn't we all do that? I'm like, I thought everybody did. But it's one of those, like, I just went one way and it worked really well. And I didn't realize that there were other ways that people did it. I always wondered why the bushing wrench existed. I was like, man, some people must have really tight bushings. It's just when it's under spring pressure, it's pretty tight.
Huh. I guess I don't have enough experience with 1911s. When I got my
I
first
could get one and take it apart, but YouTube would nix the fucking.
right. When I got my first pistol, it was a SIG 1911. It was a sweet gun. It was a piece of shit, but it was cool, you know.
Well, that's what 1911s have, a lot of cool going on.
Yeah, but my buddy just took it apart without asking, and I was like, I just got it. It was like the first gun I ever purchased, and I was like, "What the fuck, bro?" He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I have no clue how to put that back together," and it just sat in a box till I brought it home, and yes, I illegally took it in the barracks. You know, come stop me, but but it was. It was like, yeah, that it had to sit in that box until I found a YouTube video that made sense to me.
Oh, the good times. Turtle is in here. Hello, sir.
Iron Pig Armament, buy stuff from him.
Yes.
I'm trying to get people to buy lightweight rifles from you. I have a friend, William, I was talking to him today, and he was like, "Hey, you trying to offload any of your guns? Any of your rifles?" I'm like looking around at my shit, and I'm like, bro, the only ones I want to get rid of are my heavy ones. But like, and he's now on the same page of like, I just want the lightest gun ever. Like, guys, Turtle can build that for you, and he'll do a great job.
He will. His guns are awesome.
I'm trying to get
here that we beat the shit out. Like, we just ran it through a bunch of classes, handed it out to a bunch of people, smashed it through some car windows, and then we passed it on to other folks to like, I think 4 or 5 of us up here had it for a while.
That green one?
Yep.
Yeah, I got it sitting right over there. We just took it through when I was in Tennessee. I let a student run it through rifle cheat codes, and it's like I've only seen one malfunction on it, and that's after like it going through several classes and me doing YouTube videos with it, and I haven't lubed it. It's nice. Like it's just been. And it's dirty as fuck sitting over there right now. Like, I'm not taking good care of his equipment, but
we didn't either.
But it's running, and like all the students have been happy with it, especially with how lightweight it is. If for anyone watching, I did a video on zeroing a rifle, that green rifle with a light mounted at 12 o'clock.
Did you
black? I don't know if it's possible.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, green rifle, tan accessories, 12 o'clock mounted light, fake Unity mount that's black with a camo painted hollows on top. That rifle been through a lot of shit in my classes, your classes, and other classes.
Yep, I threw the truck gun sling on the first one that you gave me with the tubular webbing. I had that, a Streamlight, something or other, weapon light on it, and a hollow sun in a Midwest mount, and never did anything else to it. We might have lubed it once, but it would have been early on, because it might have been me saying, well, I got this with no idea how much lube's on it, so we might as well lube it. And then after I had it, Mike had it, Max had it. I don't know if they lubed it at all, but for the most part, I didn't do shit. I could change the battery more than I put lubrication in it.
Yeah, I think there's been more parts changes on that gun than time spent, or like number of times it's been lubed.
So yeah, he builds a good gun, and fuckers should go buy them from him.
Yes. Discount code Tremis Dynamics, or
no, I don't have a discount code with Turtle.
Discount code Combat Art.
There we go. Now Turtle's like, wait, I don't have that set up either.
Oh, you should. You told me you did. So.
Oh, perfect. I mean,
and Turtle, just message Gary next time you got his discount code set up, because I'm sure you did at one point.
In my mind, we did. So we did a video about the rifle, and while we were filming, the fucking battery died in my camera, so we lost half of it. So I started it over, and when I started it over, something fucked up with the microphones and I had no audio from it. So the video never went live because I didn't know until I got back from Florida that it didn't happen. And we may have talked about a code in the video. I don't know. I can't hear the video. I do have the footage somewhere on a drive. So it's possible that we did that, and I don't remember because I'm terrible at those kind of things.
Yeah, and also Turtle, I've been on this phone for a while. I just got this phone back up and running, so I don't know if you've messaged me in the past couple months, but now I can actually receive it. We just got done moving, and I just got done from my trip from Camden to PA back to Florida. But yeah, the class, again, awesome. The students,
great group of students.
Can't ask for anything better. And that's so important. Like, students who don't take it seriously, in my opinion, that's what makes instructors not want to do it anymore. Is they get like a bunch of students who just don't take violence seriously. They're not really there to train, and it makes it harder and harder for the instructor to even just function in his job. So like when I got like just one dude who's a rock star, love it. And we had a group of people that were rock stars, and Noah and Jessica couldn't ask for a better host.
Oh, agreed.
Like, amazing hosts. Like, I don't want to talk about how good they are because like I don't want other people to take advantage of them. Like they're so great.
I would recommend them to any instructor that is looking for a place in West Central PA. If they're looking to pick that area, absolutely they should do 7 Syndicate. If they want to come anywhere in Pennsylvania, I would recommend 7 Syndicate. Like, I know there's a place, Double Eagle, Triple Eagle, Eagle Beagle, or something up in Northeast PA, up Scranton, Wilkes-Barre way, that has like a fucking mansion and shit. It's retarded expensive. It's got a mansion though. I don't know really what that matters. Like, the team room's really fancy because it's a mansion. But I can't recommend something that expensive. And there's a lot of ranges that have amenities that don't matter and then charge you out the ass for them. So it's tough finding a spot that I would tell people you should go to this one. But absolutely in PA, 7 Syndicate is where I would tell an instructor to go.
Well, the other thing is like the hosts are going to be your students, and they're great students. So it's like, just like I said earlier, you already right off the bat get 2 rock star students.
Yep.
As long as they can both make it, which they put in a lot of effort so that they can both be there.
Agreed.
And also we had a girl take a force on force class. Like, that's my second time having that. They generally don't go to those. And
it is rare. It is rare that they're like, oh yeah, I want to go get shot and get welts. And
yeah, great group of students, great facility. They put in so much work on it. And I wish my wife would have come up because like she likes Jessica, and also just to show them what they have built, so that we can work on that for us too.
They do have a great, like, everything is great. Obviously it's real easy for Noah to make like the pits and stuff because he has a company that has a lot of earth moving equipment. So it's easier for him to facilitate that. But the effort they went to for the bunk houses, the shower house, the team room, the instructors they have private rooms for the instructors in the bunkhouse with their own door and key, and like, that's pretty awesome that there's somewhere. And they don't charge the instructors for it. They don't charge the students to use it because they want people to come. So that's the upkeep cost of that is their way of rolling back into the community so that more people can come train, and they get more people to train with, which will bring more instructors that want to come train. So they look at like an investment of, well, Jessica's like, I'll go wash, all the sheets and the bedding, and I'll go set everything up and turn the AC on the day before so it's nice and cool in there. Like, that all costs money and time, and they do that so that, and then don't charge for it because they want people to want to come there, because the more people that want to come, the more instructors that want to come, the more training opportunities that they get. like they really put a lot of time and money into making the training community better.
Dude, like just the effort you put into that room, right? Into that room, and it's just like just looking at what they did, because especially not we're putting up stuff for like animals and a building going up. It's like, dude, unbelievable what they have accomplished in such a short amount of time.
Yep.
And they're doing it. They are doing it for their own benefit too, because this way, like they don't have to travel to take classes.
Right. They get training on their own property.
Yeah, and
so there's some selfishness to it there, but it is also very altruistic.
But that's exactly what this industry needs, is people who are dedicated students doing that. You know, just like what Taprack Ridge did. You know, Noah, my first time meeting him, was in way of the shotgun attack response, a week-long course, right?
Yep.
So, like, I knew right off the bat, like, oh, you're here for the full thing? Like, this dude's actually dedicated to it, you know? And then getting to know him and, you know, training with him in PA and at the Combat Arts Summit, stuff like that. Phenomenal people.
Very much so. So if you're an instructor out there and you're catching wind of this, most likely it's because you dislike Andrew and or I.
But more so, you probably really hate Jay Gibson.
Probably so. But yeah, reach out and I will put you in touch with those fellas, with Noah, and because I want more people to go teach there. Adam Hall says, let's get those book of the week and album of the week in before we end. So let's not forget that, because I also have a social media of the week already prepared. I did that earlier today, late yesterday for part of it. If we want, we can do it now because he asked.
It cut out for a little bit. What are we talking about?
Adam Hall is asking for the book of the week, album of the week, because he doesn't want to miss it. And I did put a little list together for folks.
Oh, that's cool.
So figure since he asked, before we forget, I'll go ahead and copy this. Copy link. There we go. Copy. I'll bring it over here to the chat.
Adam, what music do you listen to? And if you're like everything, then like, what are you listening to currently?
So here's the book of the week. I know it's a pile of them. I'm going to put the link up on Amazon, and it is an affiliate link. I get some type of kickback if you follow it. But it is the, let me get this organized here because I didn't do that very well. The Professional Citizen Project. So there's like a whole series of books. There's like fucking a pile of them. So I got this one at a used bookstore for like $5. And John Ammons actually had mentioned these a couple times, and it was on my list of things to get to. And it is basically small unit-ish skills for the professional citizen. And I got the first two. Oh, I bought this one. I got it last week. I got another one here last week as well. And one's newer, like volume 6 or 7, and this is the first volume. That's why I picked this one up first. The first ones have, I'm about halfway through reading it. I only had it a couple days, so bear with me there. The first two, the graphics are, there's like black and white photos, and some of the pictures look like they've been kind of lifted off the DOD manuals. But the later ones, I'll just pick this one here. Of course, like the diagrams are color. I don't know if that shows up that well. And then there's photos in here that are also color. So way better production value. What do I got here? The second one is reconnaissance. The seventh one is Minuteman Recon. The sixth one is the Citizens Ranger Handbook. I had the sixth and the first last week. The other two came in today, so I barely got to thumb through them. And he had the other stuff in there that I bought. There's a field reference manual. which is like a notebook with some like supplemental info out of the other ones. There's what are these called? Um, this is basically just a Tiger Stripe notebook. They're only like $5 or $6. These are meant to be consumable, I believe. Like you would write in them and use them up. And then they have some leaders guides. So I bought a leaders guide that goes with one of the books, with the recon book that's got just not the details, what all those mean, but just something you can keep in a BU pocket. So Jack Morris, I think, Jack Morris. He put them all together, and they seem to be organized really well. So, man, I'm thinking it's a good book of the week. And I just linked to the whole series, so pick some that you like and go from there. Which also kinds of fallen super well with the classes that I'm running the rest of the year, which are all the citizens defense classes. Probably should have bought those books before I started the classes, but it's in the name and everything. So that was my book of the week, the Professional Citizens Project by Jack Morris. Mark Box, hello, sir. I meant to text you back, and I haven't. But I found this awesome thing. So I'll bring this up. Works out well because both Andrew and Mark on the column here both use text messages to reach out to me more frequently than they do Signal, even though they both have Signal. I realized Friday, that I could just turn off notifications from my text messaging app, and my life got way better. Yeah. So I looked, and I had a text message from Andrew and a text message from the fellas at Susquehanna Valley Firearms. I had 71 non-important text messages in between. Just, hey, there's a sale at Home Depot. Like, this is what's coming into your mailbox today, etc. Like things that I maybe want to go look at some point, but I don't need to be told all day long. Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. 71 between my two important text messages. So now I just check them once or twice a day, unless I'm expecting to, like when you were driving up here and I knew your backup phone didn't have Signal on it, I just left the text messages on and checked them every time it went ba-ding, because I'm like, fuck, he might be halfway here and got a flat tire, and how can I help him? And so for those of you that know me, I will say this. I check my text messages now even less than before. So Signal's the way to go.
Oh, I appreciate that, Gary. I have to, that's one thing. So backup phone, it was $5 extra. And then I bought my wife a backup phone, and it actually lowered our bill overall to have 4 lines. So when my primary phone breaks, I just turn this one on and start using it. That was awesome for moving. When we, moved from our old house we're renting to this new property, and then I had to go on this trip, and I still had a phone. But also, now that I have this one, when I go on a trip, I take 2 phones, because imagine how retarded life would be trying to get back from PA without a working cell phone, or just having to go to the store to fix this problem while you're in some other place. Very much worth it. This is a radio. This is life-saving equipment.
It really is.
It's like the most undervalued thing in the world. And that's why I freak out whenever like my wife's really good about it now, but when her phone would be like low battery, we'd be going somewhere. I'm like, what are you doing? I'll be like, that needs to be charged.
I really should get a second cell phone.
Yeah, it's the only thing I failed at not putting all the shit from this phone onto this one. And then when this broke, I didn't have access to so many things because of the 2-factor authentication shit that I'm like, dude, honestly, I'd rather have my identity stolen than go through that again.
Oh, Mark says he can't comment, but he's commenting. He commented, we can't comment. I don't know what he means by that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
So Adam answered your question. He says he listens to everything. I don't know what that means, but
I took a picture of the bands, and I'm like, I may look them up, but I always say I will, and I always forget to.
I've never heard of any of them. But I'm pretty much like a fucking metalhead. Although
Yeah.
sometimes my album of the week is totally not metal, and people are like, I don't like that. Like, stop doing that.
What were your non-metal albums?
He says we can't comment. Signal, Yakami. Like, I don't. Oh, we can't comment because I have a Signal chat that is just like the Tremis, like message from the business to all the alumni, and it's so that it's not a fucking disaster. He could use Signal to just directly talk to me whenever he wants. I'm gonna send him a message just straight on Signal and be like, "You fucking tard." But knowing what he does for a living, I'm not surprised. So we will, since we're talking music, we'll do the. I'll give my album of the week, which also, shockingly enough, this particular week is not metal at all. I did give a small hint on the intro music tonight, and so the album of the week is the. Can't show you the case because I lost the case 20 years ago. The Last of the Mohican soundtrack.
Yes.
Um,
That's what you were playing in the intro.
yes,
right?
It was a dude from YouTube playing it on guitar. One of the song tracks on like track 4.
I actually just picked that movie up from a thrift store today because I'm like, I might already own it, but I need to have this one too.
I love that movie. The soundtrack to that movie is so good. It's like its own character in the movie. I just can't get over how fantastic of a soundtrack it is. I bought this CD when I was in the fucking Navy, so I got out in '95. We can do the math for how old this physical CD is. That's why I don't have the case. Some years later, I did buy this one. It is the Royal Scottish National Orchestra, and they cover the soundtrack. And it's pretty good too. It's a little shorter though. There's a couple of things they didn't record, and like a couple of songs they took like part of them and just stuck them together to make one out of it. I don't have a link to that one on Amazon. I assume it's sold on Amazon. But yeah, that is my album of the week. Colt Manny is going to see this and be like, "Fucking Mar, 2 times in a row it wasn't metal." And Max says it's a great movie and a great soundtrack. I think it is a great movie.
Dude, you know what
the book.
You know what I watched with my wife yesterday that she loved, and I'm like, all you guys will love it. No, you don't. Of course not. The Four Feathers. The Four Feathers. You ever watch that?
No.
Heath Ledger, British dude in Africa. So fucking good. Came out in 2002. Basically, his unit deploys to Africa, and all right. The war took place in, I think, 1882, 1884. So like single shot rifles, formation, stuff like that.
Yep.
Against the Mahdi. So somewhat ISIS feeling army.
Orcs. They're out there fighting orcs. It looks like he froze, or I froze.
Okay, now I hear you. But yeah, the Four Feathers. His unit deploys over to Africa. He's like, no, and then he ends up going. Amazing movie. I don't want to give stuff away, but it's like lots of redemption involved. Very deep movie.
Well, I am going to watch it probably not tonight. I'll probably watch it tomorrow, assuming I can find it on Amazon or one of them things.
Yeah, if you want to do a mindset movies on it, I know we were trying to get back to that, and then I got busy.
Yes, we could do that for sure. Uh, I would love to do a mindset movie on what I'm currently watching, but there is no way to do it in any sort of reasonable time frame because I'm smack dab in the middle of rewatching for the upteenth time all of Magnum PI. And I will tell you that each time I watch it, more and more I decide that the stud of that TV show absolutely is Higgins.
Oh, so with the four feathers, you know the African dude from Blood Diamond?
Yes.
He's in the four feathers, but he's more jacked than any movie he's ever been in, I think. I don't know, from what I can tell. And he's the badass of the movie.
Oh, interesting.
Not the main character, but he is the badass of the movie.
Hey, there's Colt's comment. What are you, a gay? Because I will say that style of music 100 years ago would have been the metal version of what we like. That had been metal.
Oh yeah.
Zach Bush is floating around.
Zach, why do you look like Tim in that one picture?
All the pictures. He's allowed to have a beard. Like he's allowed to have one and still opts for the other thing.
Zach, you need to get back to me on scheduling classes at my place, and if you want to do that Masad class in December. And for any like people who have trained with me, if you want to go with me to this Masad class going on in December, it's like 35 minutes north of my house.
Nice.
So if you've previously stayed at my place, I'm being more selective on students and people who can stay over and stuff. But like, there's plenty of people who know they're welcome.
Awesome. So the last thing I got of the week is the social medias of the week, and this one is a gal. I have no idea what she looks like. She never shows her face that I can tell. Doesn't appear to ever be scantily clad or any of the typical, I have a gun and I have boobs, but she goes by the handle. I think her Instagram and her Facebook is Tactical Belle, Belle, like the girl from Beauty and the Beast, maybe. But what I thought was interesting about her social media is she shares things like, hey, do you have a compass? Let me show you how to tell roughly what time of day it is just using your compass. And you want to know north, south, east, west, and you don't have a compass? Here, let me show you how to use 2 rocks and a stick and how to figure out where east, west is, and then you can extrapolate north, south. And little like tidbits of info like that. Some of them are things that like I teach in bug out classes and stuff on that side, like on the outdoor skills stuff. But the fact that those are the things that she's doing instead of like FPV, USPSA, Courses of Fire, which I don't ever want to watch another one ever again. I was like, wow, like this is just quality, wholesome, short bits of social media. I have no idea who she is, where she's from, what training she's had, no clue. I just enjoy her. I guess they'd be like her reels are like tic tac length, like short things. With captions, because I keep my phone on mute all the time. So if there's a video and someone's talking and they don't have any sort of closed captioning, I don't know what is happening. Because I often am sitting around the living room with my wife watching a movie or something that I've seen 15 times, or it's a crime thing about how some lady killed her husband. My wife likes to watch those. I don't know if there's any foreshadowing there or not. But so then I kind of also peruse my phone while I'm hanging out doing nothing with my wife. And I'm not going to turn that on and like ruin the TV program that she's watching. So I keep it on mute. So this girl has like closed captioning. And I was like, aha, me and Biggers would appreciate that. Me, because I don't have my phone unmuted, and Biggers because they don't make them loud enough for him to hear. Which reminds me, I have to call him today. Dave, if you're listening, when I get off of this live stream, I will call you back. That's what I had on the things of the week. So, Adam, I hope that answers your your request. I did get one question for like a viewer question, and you could answer this for yourself as well, especially because I have an angle I'm going to take on it. So within the last few weeks, I've had this question a couple times, but I got it yesterday as well. When are you coming to blank? Or sometimes phrased as, when are you coming to blank again? Instance like Texas or Illinois, et cetera, which I'm not going to Illinois again. My host moved, so like, not that I dislike Illinois, I do, but my host moved, so I'm just not going. And the angle I was thinking might touch on your feelings as well, because I know we had a little bit of this conversation last weekend when we were together, and it's a great question because it shows people are interested in training specifically with the person they're asking. In this case, asking me like, hey, they want to come give me money and stuff. But I do sense, or I get a sense of being bummed out, not being home. Like every time I go somewhere, I have fun, but I also can't wait to get home. And if I had to pick the two, I would always pick home. So, like, when am I coming to blank again? I don't know. I don't know if I am, because I like being home. What's your take there?
I totally agree. I have the luxury of sometimes being able to take my family with me.
Yep.
Even then, it's hard for my family. And even then, I don't get to give them the time that they deserve. Because, like, I've taken them to alumni weekend, and I don't get back to the Airbnb till 10 o'clock at night. I don't realize it because I'm just spending time with my people, and they're also my family's people too. They're the same people that I have come over to my house, like students and stuff. In this last trip, I don't have as much experience as you traveling, but for me, there's been a lot of growth in traveling. Last year, I did a really hard move and broke off some ties with people very close to me when I moved, and then I had to hit the road for 3 weeks after getting way behind on everything, overburdening myself, and like losing my cool, under all that pressure. Now, it made me appreciate my family, my wife and children, so much more, going through that hard time and then having to hit the road. So for me, I grew so much from that, and just my appreciation for my family and for my students too. And so people in class have heard me talk on some of the things that I experienced, like with that trip specifically, in that event. But so that was actually good for me. It was hard, it was painful, but it was good for me because getting home, it was I was just that much more into my family. I was a better father getting home from it. Sometimes missing your family is a thing that some guys need, I think, in order to fully appreciate them.
Maybe that's how I got to where I'm at now, is enough of that travel that I was like,
yeah,
I miss them.
Yeah. And then this last trip I just did, 2 weeks on the road, I tried to take my wife with me, but we just moved. We're not set up to be able to just hit the road together. We need more infrastructure because we have a farm, soap business, nylon business, and a training business, right? So now we're cutting off more nylon stuff. I'm doing more soap stuff. but we just weren't set up to bring the whole family with. Plus, my wife is pregnant, so it's like throwing her in the car for 12 hours just isn't easy.
There's a level of physical discomfort there.
Yes, but for me, the lessons I learned in Camden from teaching my first class in 2 months and having some rough edges where I'm like the guys appreciated the class, they loved it. However, like I can see the class differently, and then getting to hang out with like Kayla and Brian Sayers and some of like the longtime students there and Don Edwards, and having really long talks. Like I changed some things about myself that made me grow. That was like invaluable. Like, one thing that you noticed and some of the students noticed is that I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. And that was a thing that happened. That was a thing that happened the day I left Camden, right? So I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. What I do is I earn delicious drags of American spirits in the push-up position or like the squat position or on a pull-up bar. So it's not that I won't touch a cigarette anymore. It's that it's a lot more painful for me to touch a cigarette. and in the time from when I left Camden till today, it was less than a full pack. And I just finished that pack today, where I was a pack a day smoker. And now when I'm smoking that cigarette, it's like I'm doing a set, and then I set it down. And I don't drag out of it until I'm in the repetition, right?
Yep.
So for me, that growth made the trip worth it alone. And then the experience too of having the class I did run so smoothly and getting to have like the talks with guys like Josh, Noah, even I gave Jessica security while she went out because I'm like, if I don't go with her, I feel like she's going to get attacked by meth heads. I just try to live a very what's the word where you're like worried about anything wrong happening?
Paranoia, preparedness.
Yes, I live a paranoid life because nothing bad happens to paranoid people. And then the talks that I got to have with you and Mike on the last night, and again, the experience of that class and just, even seeing the unit guns, that was worth it. For my wife, the growth that she got to have, I think made that trip worth it. But now I feel like I'm going to try not to travel as much. I'm going to try to make it so that over there, like the best training I could possibly do is happening. And I'm going to try to make it work better. It's like, because, you realize how much your family matters to you when you don't have them,
Agreed.
And it's fucking hard. And for my wife, she needs to lean on me and stop putting so much pressure on herself, because like she's the best woman ever. Like she is the exact list that I was wanting and has none of the qualities that I said I would never deal with again. And I get to be a fucking trophy husband because she's so successful in her business, right?
Yep.
But she overburdens herself. And I would talk with her when I was on the road and, just try to get in a phone call a day or at least some text messages. Wasn't always able to make it happen, but I could see that she was learning the lessons she needed while I was gone. So it was also good overall for our relationship for me to go, for her to get the same kind of overburdening crushing that I experienced the year before. And I was able to talk to her. I'm like, you can put Scarlett on a cartoon for a little bit. Like, you're not a bad mom. I promise you, you're a great mom. Okay. Like our daughter didn't know what chicken nuggets were when some other parent talked about it, like you do a lot, and I'm not judging anyone who feeds their kid chicken nuggets. Scarlett has definitely had chicken nuggets. Okay. But it's like, you put in so much work that when you feel like you're not doing enough, you just can't see how good you're doing. And like the thing I told her too, I was like, hey, how many people tell you you're a shitty mom? And she's like, no one. I'm like, why? She's like, because I'm not. And I'm like, yeah, you're not.
Bingo.
I don't have to tell myself I'm a shitty person because all I have to do is go on Instagram and boom, you know, like I've had people telling me I'm a piece of shit my whole life. It doesn't bother me. But when you never, I also think like when you never get that as a part of this, you start telling yourself how you're bad, you know, because you don't have if someone tells you you're shitty, you think of the ways you're good. If you only get the ways you're good, then you're like, oh, you don't know me. Oh, I'm so bad. Like that,
Yeah.
I think that's a factor in it, you know?
Well, I got to admit, like when I travel, I'm always excited about the trip. So the only travel trip I got this year is to go see Mark down in Paducah Stand. And I'm excited about what we're going to do down there. I'm excited because they're great students. Like other than Colt, all the ones that come are great.
I know, right?
And while I'm there, I always have a wonderful time. In a town of like 45 people or whatever is in Paducah. Like I got the best of them at dinner with me every night. And I was like, man, like this is great. And even the drive down, I'm excited about what we're going to do. Like I run through the class curriculum. You know, there's like 2 12-hour days and a 6-hour day of driving to get there. So I go through it a bunch, and I'm real excited about running it. And it runs the way I'm picturing it. And on the way home, it's usually like every trip I've driven home from Texas, I have some type of what I would classify as the epiphany in what Tremis Dynamics is going to do the following year. So like classes change and like our new class is added and I hash all that out in my head. And then I call Fiore and I'm like, hey man, I got an idea. He goes, you're driving. I said, yes. He goes, well, because A, you called and B, you had an idea. So even the drive, I appreciate. But like each phase of it, like there's the little part where I'm like, I miss my dog.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, fuck, I need to stop all this and just go hang out with my dog.
Bro, I want to bring one of my dogs at least so bad on a trip. Not Socks right now. She's a little fucker. She needs training. She'll get that after this. I totally get it.
The downside, I thought about bringing Klaus like on a big road trip. Klaus is not going to be okay with a 14-hour day in the car. Hey, he's a 120-pound German Shepherd. My truck ain't big enough for him to like move around in and him be happy with that. At some point, the idea of a road trip is going to wear off, and he's like, I got to get the fuck out of this thing. So that seems to be a bit of a stretch. And I can't be in like Arkansas when I figure that out. They're like, oh, this was a mistake.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I think the trips are, as long as they're made to be worth it, you know. For me, it's like they just end up being worth it. That's how it's been, because I haven't done a lot of traveling. I've just started traveling, you know, within the past couple of years. I'm a young company. I started in 2020, you know, so only been around for 6 years. But it's like, I think if you can schedule, like, because you did that one big month on the road and saw everyone you wanted to see.
Yeah.
It probably was worth it, but it probably also showed you like, oh shit, man, I don't need to do that.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. I came down to you guys over to Sonny's, from Sonny's to Del Rio, back to Tennessee, taught in Tennessee. So there was like 4 weekends in a row that there were classes. And in between, I used that time to visit people. So it was a month-long tour. I was on tour. I was on tour by myself, which meant all that drive. I was the bus driver of the tour bus, and then the performer and the setup crew. So I was the roadies, and that was rough. But I did enjoy like each individual piece of it, like getting to see people.
Mm-hmm.
It was rough. And then my fucking dog like got like a month older while I was gone. He was still a puppy at the time. Like I left the puppy and came home to a dog.
Yeah. It you know, and like, yeah. So for my wife, it was like she learned she needed to lean on me and not overburden herself. But that's so much better now when we get home. When I got home, it's like I'm taking over shipping. I'm going to take over managing employees. We're getting a new batch of employees soon because the ones we have, they're moving on with their lives. They have like school they're going to and stuff like that.
Yep.
And it's like, especially with my wife being pregnant, she can't run at this speed much later, right? And here's the other thing, like, the day before yesterday, I ended up clearing my whole property with a rifle. and I just like go like, hey babe, like, this is why you need a dry practice with your rifle. And she did today too, right?
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm also like, and this is also why it's like, I joke, I call it, oh, you're playing single mom right now. Just remember, if you ever try to leave me, this is what your life will be like when I'm on the road, right? But it was like, it's also like me that much coming back, and a couple days later, it actually was really funny. There were cops at the entrance to the property over there, but they were talking to the neighbors, right? And she's like, hey, there's cops here. I'm like, all right, just stay close to the house. She had to run outside for one more thing. She's like, hey, they want to talk to me. I told them I'd send you. I'm like, okay. So I go out there, and he's like, hey, there was some dude on your neighbor's property. Have you seen anything? And I'm like, no. And he's like, what about those buildings? Have you checked? I'm like, no, I haven't been over there, but I'll go check them. He's like, well, we can do it if you want. I'm like, no, bro, I'll get it. Just remember what I look like, because I'm going to be walking around with a rifle. All right. He's like, all right, good. And I'm like, and don't fucking go over there. It was funny. My big dog barked on perfect timing, the scariest bark ever. And I was like, that dog will fuck you up. Stay out of there. So I clear everything. And then I talked to one of the other cops down at the end. And he was like, hey, did they give you a description? And I was like, no. He's like, all right. So it's a dude with a big beard. And I went, fuck. Oh, that's literally me. He's like, well, it's like a gray beard. He said he looks homeless. I went, shit.
It might still be me. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, that could be anyone around here. Well, and they like didn't want to offend, and I was like, hey, even me, if I grew mine now, I'm like, all right, what else? He's like, he's wearing shorts. I'm like, all right, thank God.
Not me.
Yeah. But it's like, man, I don't know. I think through suffering teaches us. And a lot of times it teaches us what we need to learn in that moment. So for me, last year, it was learning not to overburden myself, with the things that I was overburdening myself with at that time. And this time it was my wife learning that. And, it wouldn't be cool if we just took our own advice. Like, imagine that type of world.
We're humans. We don't do that kind of thing.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I think I still want to continue traveling. I still want you to continue traveling. I want you to come down here at least, and because I think it is important for growing this culture we have. And, like we were talking about, there's not many of us. And that's why I'm like, also, I have to give a shout out to Noah and Jessica, because it's like they deserve it. They're floating this industry just by doing the work that they did. Every student who shows up to more than one class, and everyone who brings a friend who takes it seriously. And with that, like, there is a possibility due to long-term consequences that just going to a place, you may be saving lives. And it may be because that person doesn't honk at that guy. That person doesn't, want to say the nasty thing to someone.
Yep.
Or the guy looks at that gas station and goes, and drives to the next one. It can be something as simple as that. It's like, so I look at it like this. If I believe that me doing this trip is going to lead to lives being saved and my family being better, then it's okay. If I don't believe that, then I probably should just cancel, refund, apologize, reschedule, all that. And also it's also like, you know, no student is gonna, or no reasonable student will be pissed at you if you're like, dude, I gotta take care of my family right now. Sorry, here's your money back. I'll try again later.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you can still hook them up on the back end somehow. You know,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and we appreciate our students, so we do shit like that. You know,
Try to. I
yeah,
appreciate some of them, and then there's like Colt.
yeah.
But you know, it's there's like a quota. If you don't want to be, you know, labeled as biased, you know, you got to take so many retards in, and how many special needs students can you have?
Yeah.
I assume he's still floating around the comment section.
What are your plans for traveling in the future? And we should pimp our class in Texas. So if you want to, you've got the lead on that, sir.
Yes, so there is a dynamic gunfighter in Texas in November, the weekend after Election Day, because Mark always makes me vote via absentee ballot, or he has the last few years. And that is going to have a couple of night shoots. And so it's going to start on Friday night shoot, Saturday night shoot, Sunday. And it's going to be a bunch of cool shit with dudes with rifles, and there's going to be some DMR section to it. It is on the website somewhere. I don't have a link handy because I didn't prepare that far ahead. There's actually one of them here in PA too. Which weird part is there are dudes in PA who are talking about flying to take the class in Texas. And I was like, you know, we're doing it here. It would cost you a whole lot less. Like, I don't mind either way, except some of them are like, I'm going to fly in and you can pick me up. And I'm like, where are you flying into? Like the closest airport. I'm like, do you know where that is? Because I don't, but I know it's not close. And they're like, well, you can pick me up. I'm like, I got people asking if they can ride out with me. I'm like, how many motherfuckers you think I'm sticking in a Tacoma? And then to pick you up at the airport. But the one in PA here in September is not going to have the DMR section. So I think that is the allure.
Okay.
But it's 6 to 8 November. I did have that on the my notes. I just don't have a link handy for me to paste into the comment section.
And it sure would be cool if Iron Pig Armament sent us out with an AR-10.
I have a spare scope.
No, you don't. It'd be really cool. Oh,
a
scope. Yes.
In a mount that we could just slap right on the top. It's a 4 to something, 14 or 16. I can't remember which. With good. Like a grid reticle and like shit that would go great on an AR-10. I'll even personally donate some 308 PMags to go in said AR-10. And you could take it back at the end and give it back to him. Just throwing that out there if he's still in the chat section.
Harass Turtle if you're going to that class. Be like, hey man, can you send me a picture of the AR-10 you're sending with Andrew?
And he doesn't even have to go get it Cerakoted. We will spray paint it while we have it.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for that trip. How many days is that class going to be?
3 days with a night on 2 nights. So 2 long days and a regular day.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
I think it's gonna be pretty awesome.
And then I'll be going to Ohio. I think in October.
What you doing in Ohio?
I'm gonna do rifle cheat codes, and I will do red dot pistol.
Nice.
And so for red dot pistol, it is not a how to shoot your gun class. Okay, this is an important distinction because there are other classes for that, and I have been to many a lot of red dot classes, and they generally end up being performance shooting classes with some stuff about red dots. Those classes are very important, but that's not what my red dot pistol class is about. It's about, yes, some red dot stuff, There's a little bit of like, hey, you'll see this now since you're using a dot, the gear setup and stuff. And then the major portion of it is, well, yeah, of course, how to shoot with it. But that literally gets covered right in the beginning. And here's a secret, guys. Like, if you're new to a red dot, occlude the front and learn to target focus. And we do that right in the beginning. Okay. We do that right in the beginning. Everyone who's like, I'm weird about this, just do that in the beginning. In every red dot class I have ever taken, like day 2, they occlude it. And then people go, oh, so we just do that like 10 rounds into the class.
Nice.
But a lot of the class is working around the problems of it. It's more of a fighting based one, like little intricate things you see just like on a ready up or coming from a weird position, different barrier work, cover work, stuff like that, and shooting on the move. It's not a how to shoot your gun class.
Where in Ohio are you doing that?
Thurman Klingman's house, Dan Klingman's place. I think New London, Ohio.
What part of Ohio is that? I've not been there.
I have no clue, bro. I follow the blue line. I go through some shitty cities, and I'm like, thank God I'm here.
Fair enough.
That last gas station fucking sucked.
Right on.
Cincinnati, get gas before and way after.
I was just curious because I was going to go see a buddy who was going to be in Ohio for a work trip. And I was like, oh, I can get to Ohio in like 3.5 hours. And then I realized he was almost in fucking Indiana. And that became an 8-hour trip and totally thwarted my plan I was going to go see him, spend a day with him, and then in the evening drive back to Noah's place because it'd be like halfway until it became an extra 4 hours out and then 4 more extra hours back. And it all had to be in one day of driving. And I was like, I can't go out there.
That's where it's at.
Right on.
Around there.
Yeah, it turns out Ohio's not super little. So, like when we went to Bob Lester's place for Jerry Nuss's class, it was much closer to the PA side. And I was like, oh, I like this.
That's cool. I need to give Bob a call. I haven't talked to him since my phone broke.
I taught a fish class in Ohio in, I can't remember the name of the town. It was they had a big indoor shoot house. It was like an indoor warehouse with 4 shoot houses inside the warehouse. But it was also much closer to Indiana. So it wasn't as like I had to plan ahead for that more than if it were on the eastern side of Ohio. So if we had that handy, I would let people know. And I assume you also don't have a link that I can post in the comment section.
No, but people can go to combatertraining.com and click on calendar and scroll down till they see the Ohio dates.
We should really make these things fucking like way better. So
I kind of agree with the thing that Jaeger said. He was like, no, don't tell them my website. Don't tell them that, if they can't find it, they shouldn't be here. I kind of agree with it, but also he had a lot more students than I do. So
I just if we could like have like the little ticker tape across the bottom that would just be like, this class is what's coming up. I mean, I could have set all that up. I just don't ever think to until it'd be like, oh, it'd be nice if I could just click a button and turn that on right now.
The simple thing is just do the links where you can put it. It goes up on the screen and it has a QR code.
Oh yeah.
And then you just say this class and you put up that class and they can go on and find the date. That's the page they'll have to go to anyways.
What I really need is someone to just run all the social media for me for free because I don't want to pay them. I don't make enough money to pay them. But it would be nice to just show up and have someone be like, put this microphone on and action.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty okay. I'd actually probably make videos if that were the case. I do have a video. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Well, I'm excited for it. I want to know what it is now.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing I've been trying to get Jay to come visit because he's only like 2-3 hours away from me now.
Oh, yes, he should.
So I was thinking of doing a video of Praelectus gives context if he wants to. I don't know if he'll want to.
Yeah, but well, you could also not give him a choice and just like, hey, you want to do a quick video? Sure.
Yeah, but it's like it's funny. It's man, I love Jay. It's like he so easily just like exposed so many people for who they truly are,
True.
you know. And it's funny too. And I got formed this idea better, but it's like a lot of people claim to understand a lot of things, and then they interpret a 15-second video and assume all this stuff based off of that, and then they go and start making videos on it. I mean, really, it's a lot of gay virtue signaling, rage baiting, you
Yeah.
know, because it's like I've seen some of them. It's like all you do is sell T-shirts and just post fucking rage bait. Shut the fuck up. You know, you're not even in this.
Well, it probably helps them sell T-shirts. That's comment of the evening. So Ashley says, I was going to say that you spelt live chat wrong, and then I realized they're all spelt like that. So funny story, many 100 episodes ago or more, I was typing it up in my Facebook group. Hey, we're going to do a live chat on Wednesday. And it like I fat fingered it and it said live chat. And we do shoot the shit. And I was like, that's kind of clever, and I'm just going to leave it. And then I just changed the name, all of them, to the live chat.
That's right. I thought that was just the joke from the beginning.
No, it was partway through. I was probably on episode like 40 or so when I just fat fingered the word chat and it came out shat, and I was like, yeah, we're keeping that.
Babe, what was the one comment? What it was? She had a video where she did the text to screen, and it said something about like it was about making soap, but then it said something.
He's frozen in time. He left us on a cliffhanger at that.
All right, there we go. It's something about lesbians instead of about soap in the text on screen, and everyone comments on it. And honestly, that may be a great engagement hack.
So I remember deciding I was going to do captions on all my videos. But it was back before it would just do them for you, but you could type them in. And I started to do it for one video. I was still at Tactical Response, so would have been like 2015 or so. And at like the 45-minute mark of captioning my own 4-minute video, I went, yep, we're fucking done with that.
Yeah, it's the one tool I'm okay with using AI for, and it's like it just says captions AI. I don't even know if it's
now that it's way like you can click a button, and it mostly, I assume, and I haven't checked, that if you do that, there's probably somewhere you can go in and manually, before you hit post, view it and be like, oh, it fucked that up, and could probably change it. I would assume offer a manual override. Like anytime it says Gary, it would always spell it wrong because I spell my name weird. So like I'd want to go in and, I mean, I won't really have to, but like it would make sense to want to change it. Oh yes, Lima, Ohio. Adam Hall was there, and he's the one that told me, and it's Lima, not Lima. I was calling it Lima, and the locals looked at me like I was retarded. I was like, so your town's named after a bean? No. Yes.
Oh, in the coming years, what are your plans for traveling?
Well, so like I don't have anything on the schedule to travel next year. Of course, I have nothing on my schedule at all next year. So it's easy for me to say that. I did say that last year at Paducah, I was done traveling. It was going to be my last class. I said, I'm not traveling next year. I don't want to. And Mark said, hey, man, you want to come see my sniper tower? And I was like, it looks like I'm coming back to fucking Paducah because there's a sniper tower. So I'm not saying I'm not traveling next year, but I may do a travel class if there is somewhere I want to go for personal reasons, like, hey, I want to take my wife and go visit this place or these people. If I could put a travel class in that trip too to offset the cost of going on vacation, I would do that because, like, hey, only 3 people signed up or whatever retarded number, like ridiculously low number it would be. I'd be like, oh, well, that still covers my gas on the way out. And I was coming there anyway. So there's the chance for more of that. Cause like my wife and I talked about trying to get down to Florida at the end of this year, although it doesn't look like it's going to work out logistically to be able to do that. But maybe a Florida trip next year because we have a bunch of friends in Florida. And then maybe I'll squeeze a class somewhere while I'm down there so that it helps offset the cost of traveling. Mostly because she's going to fly and I got to pick her up somewhere and I'm driving. Because I hate the 5 hours before you get on the airplane. Those are my least favorite 5 hours of my entire life.
Something I can guarantee we could run right now. We could run one of your fish classes here, or we could run another dynamic weaponology over here.
Yeah, so those are a potential. Of course, we just got to figure out what the weather best looks like for when to come to Florida.
Yeah. If you schedule it for late next year, they'll probably be easier because our baby won't be a brand newborn.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And the summer will be ridiculously uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You've been in Pennsylvania when it was cold and when it was warm. Like when you come north, the summer is the right time.
Yeah.
Going south, summer's probably not the right time.
No, I'm not even doing outdoor classes during the summer anymore. It's just too soul crushing for students. I've broken off too many students. Like we're at the end of class, I had 2 out of 5 dudes on the line, and the other 3 were either in their cars or in the trees because their car doesn't have AC. And it's like, I'm like, you don't even continue learning after like 11 o'clock because you're so hot. And if you're not outside every day, it's good. I've enjoyed, like, I did a class with Don Edwards at Aries, Red Dot Pistol, where it was so hot. A couple of times went like this to draw my gun and my hand slipped off my shirt because it was just soaking wet,
Yep.
I loved that class. I loved that those dudes were out there in that insane soul crushing heat, because that means a lot to me that they stuck it through. It's too much.
Yeah, it would benefit them more to not have to suffer.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's another thing I've just learned. I'm like, I'd love to have
somebody somebody's going to watch this tomorrow or someday later. They're going to be like, bunch of fucking pussies when I was in the infantry, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, in infantry school, where you're there for a couple of months, they can fill days full of suffering and give you 5 minutes of learning. They just do that every day. And at the end of it, you learn stuff. But when you only have someone for 16 hours and you're like, we're going to put in 7 hours of misery in a 16-hour class, like that is not a good ratio of how to spend your money.
Dude, the amount of classes, because I was infantry, the amount of classes I did where it was like, okay, no sleep, or fucking basically no sleep. And then moving, running, hiking and all that shit. And then it was like, now go sit in this classroom for 3 hours. And it's like, you're just fighting, not falling asleep. Yeah. That's what the class really is how to do this and then stand up. And then you're too tired to stand. So you have to sit down. And there were so many things.
In theory, that classroom portion, they're teaching you things to help you not die. Yeah. But they're giving you the worst possible conditions to learn in. And I'm like, that's not like, we're hundreds of years into optimizing human learning, and this is everything that's not.
Yeah. And then on top of that, some of the shit that you do learn, it's like they updated information for the classroom and not the test. So if you answer what you learned in the class on the test, you get it wrong. Like, I've seen this shit where it's just like nomenclature of a gun. It's different words depending on who you're talking to, like even to the point where the IAR, the HK 416, the M27, that we got when I was in the School of Infantry, they told us that it was an open bolt weapon. That's because the one that LWRC made that was on that Future Weapons show was an open bolt rifle, not the HK one. Yeah, and you have to be a certain type of nerd to notice that. But yeah, it's not. It doesn't facilitate learning. You know what facilitates learning? Fucking students engaging, students having fun, students having a reason, students taking it seriously. And at a certain point, when it's so fucking hot, they just are looking forward to it being over. So yeah, I'm just not like, I might do a Soul Crusher class and be like it would be cool to do hey, we're gonna just run, like you could do IA drills, team-based drills with airsoft guns in that field over there all day in the heat. And it could be hey, we're doing it a team-based tactics skills under stress of heat class. Or you could even bring in I love actually to do a class where we bring in like some college football coaches or trainers or whatever, and just how to deal with heat, because I did a medical class a couple years ago and they talked about some of that stuff and what they're doing for college football in the South to deal with the heat. And I'm like, that's fucking good information,
Yeah.
But yeah. I still want to do traveling. I do still want to do some outdoor classes. Like, I think it would be good, but it'd be a lot more minimal. Or I could just do more low light, during the summer.
Yeah, it gets cooler then.
Yeah.
Well, especially if you're doing low light with force on force, where you don't have to worry about, hey, we're making a bunch of noise in the middle of the night, because the guns are pretty quiet.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of good stuff you do, like a medical class during the summer.
Yep. Yeah. There's other things you can do to offset just being out under the fucking blazing sun. And it's similar to like up here in the winter. Like we do less because half of the day is spent trying to stay dry from the snow and not be freezing. Like, I can't feel my fingers. And no, I'm not saying it isn't good to go practice in the snow being cold, because when your fingers don't work, like, how do I make the gun function? But man, asking them to spend 8 hours of absorbing information, not going to happen when all they can think about is my fingers don't work.
Yeah, it's like there's the phrases, train like you fight, and if it ain't raining, we ain't training. I don't believe in those at all. Because like, train like you fight, I've heard it used in too many retarded ways. And sometimes it's just related to put on this gear to learn how to shoot your pistol.
Yes.
Put on this gear to learn how to shoot your rifle.
Why aren't you wearing your plate carrier for these pistol drills?
And how many Florida classes in the summer have I told the dude at the beginning, like, hey man, you can wear that if you want, but I'm going to advise you probably shouldn't, because you're not going to get the information. And that dude is the most broken off dude at the end every time, because they want to wear the shit. But I'm like, this isn't about how to shoot a rifle with a plate carrier on. Right. And this pistol class does not require a battle belt or a duty belt.
It does not require a helmet.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing a helmet? It's where I mount my nods to.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
I swear to a lot of dudes on Instagram, and I'm fine with it because I want to do it too. I want it when I don't even own night vision yet. But like, when I get it, I want to do a video where I have a battlefield pickup gun. And it's going to be like the shittiest AR with fucked up sights. If I put sights on it, no stock, red shit on it, like the ghetto AR you see in videos.
Yep.
And I want a mini Draco just to run drills with, but it'd be like, because I know they put the nods on their helmet in the videos as a flex. It'd be funny to like have like quads and a piece of shit red AR in a video.
Yeah. That'd be pretty hot. Dude, the AR pistol with just the little buffer tube, not even the foam thing on it, with the 7-inch barrel, and then the gold plated mini Draco in the other hand, and both of them being shot at the same time, one-handed, wearing quads flipped up,
Yeah,
and flip flops.
no shit. I need a gold AK eventually. That's one of my social media goals, is to have enough influence where a company goes, "Oh, you want a gold AK?" There's one guy, I'm forgetting his name right now, but he's this jacked, I think black dude. Sometimes his hair is like blonde. He is always like smoking a cigar, wearing the helmet with night vision, and he has a gold AK, and I'm like, fuck, I want one of those so bad. I almost fucking painted my wife's AK gold just to have a look-alike one, but I want a real gold one. I want a wall of gold AKs. That I really need this.
He's going to be an Afghani warlord before this room is finished.
Well, it's like if I ever opened a gun shop, I would call it like Lord of War gun shop or something.
Name. That is a good name.
And I wouldn't sell anything that people I disagree with want.
Like, where can I get an XD? Down the street.
Yeah, take your ass down to Shooter's World.
Well, I got everything on my list talked about, and we've been here for like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, man.
What's it say? 1 hour and 41 minutes.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the live stream. I appreciate you running all the admin side for the PA class and for the Texas class. Guys, sign up for the Texas class. Sign up for my Ohio class. And also, I think we really need to schedule another Force on Force weaponology.
Agreed.
Up in PA, it was awesome, great pace, and I think we should consistently do that class and just make it different every time.
Yep. I'm great with making things different. Like we discussed up there, that it's we talked about the rock star lifestyle and going on tour. Well, that and how that class was like kind of like some jazz going on. Like we both had our chops we brought to the jazz session, and I talked to people about, like, I'm going to catch this class the next time. I'm like, well, I don't know if it's going to happen, and if it does, it won't be the same. And it's no different than going and seeing like Metallica on tour. So they have never, since like the Master of Puppets era, played the same set list twice. Wow. And these are guys that go on like 500 fucking date tours that last for 3 years. And Lars, I don't know what he does. He's got to have some autism somewhere, but they've never played this. Once they had a couple albums of material, they've never played the same set twice.
By the way, have you seen his new drum kit?
The yellow one?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I thought you would love that.
Robert plays the yellow bass too, and I was like, man, why doesn't everyone play the yellow? Like, I don't. Like, you've got me. I'm in.
Yeah, I think like, and it would be cool to do some of the ones that we wrote as a standalone. But I think doing a like, yeah, you should have come to the 2026 one. You should come to the 2027 one.
Yeah,
for Force and Force weaponology, like. And I think I screwed up the name earlier, but yeah.
We should, between now and then, whenever the then is, come up with something that's new for it, so that there is like a, ooh, they're closing the set with this one. That kind of. And then when someone's like, hey, we didn't do that other drill. Like, nah, that's off the set for this tour.
Well, I think because we didn't do any Art of the Bad Guy on this last one. So,
nope.
Like, I would be down to do a little bit more of that. Or I think it'd be great to just leave it a little bit more open, kind of like what Mike said, where it's just like, let them fight out one mag versus one mag.
Yep.
And then go into some stuff, I think that would be a good format too.
We're also going to have a little more possibilities, because by next year we'll also be able to use the Temple of Doom.
Yep.
So there'll be that we can just be like, hey, let's go run some things over there that we didn't have the opportunity to do, out here with drums and barricades, but like inside buildings with stairwells and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, especially if there's stairwells.
There will be at least 3 that I am aware of, and a couple of like fucking like ladders.
There might be motherfuckers EDCing rope after that class. That's funny. Charles Thacker. He he's literally Irish, and he was like, I made some comment about rope, and he was like, "What the fuck do we need a rope for?" And I'm like, "You have no idea what's happening right now."
Someone should be taping this. That actually brings me up with a really good. So every Thursday on Instagram, I do a Thursday pocket dump, and maybe tomorrow this conversation will be relevant.
Yes, do it.
I want someone to be able to go back and look through it, and when they do, go, hey, so it's like this sig all the time, but there's a flashbang in this one, and a balaclava in that one, and a crowbar in one. Like, what? Who's fucking EDC in a fucking flashbang? But I just started a couple weeks ago, so there's only a couple in that collection, that Instagram collection. But it's Thursday, so tomorrow there'll be a new one. I already had it planned out in my head.
You need to do a rifle mag at one point, just like EDCing a rifle mag with it.
No rifle, just the rifle mag.
Yeah, because I've done that on accident. Like after class, I just still have a rifle mag in my back pocket. Yeah. And I'm like walking through the grocery store, and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, there's been an AK mag sticking out of my back pocket this whole time. And I'm like, funny, I haven't noticed anyone noticing that.
Well, it's in Florida. They're like, oh, it's Florida man.
Yeah. It was a very country grocery store at that time too. All right, man. Yeah, I'm all set. Thank you.
Yep. Again. Thanks for hanging out on the day with me, and we'll be in touch now that your phone's working again. We should signal each other more often. And everybody else out there, you all take it easy, and we'll see if we can't come up with a reason to have another live stream soon.
Sounds good. Take it easy.